All right, let's jump right in. We all had this idea of what cancer is, right? It's this scary, foreign disease we all hope we never have to face. But what if I told you that whole way of thinking is kind of wrong? Today, we're going to look at the work of Dr. William Li, and it completely flips the script on how we should think about cancer. And it all starts with a sentence that, well, it's going to sound a little crazy at first.
Yeah, you heard that right. According to Dr. Li, you have cancer, I have cancer, we all have it right now. Now hold on, before you freak out, let me explain. This isn't a diagnosis. This is about a basic biological fact of life, and once you understand it, it totally changes your fear of cancer and shows you the incredible power your body already has. So, here's the first big idea you've got to wrap your head around. Cancer isn't some rare lightning strike. It's not an invader from the outside. It's actually a constant, tiny process that's happening inside all of us every single day of our lives, basically since we were kids.
To get why, you have to think about the sheer scale of your own body. You are made of about 40 trillion cells. That's an insane number, right? And every day, those cells are working like crazy just to keep you going. And a huge part of that work is just making copies of themselves.
Just think about it like a giant copy and paste job happening on 40 trillion computers at once. Your cells are constantly dividing, copying their DNA, and making new cells. Now imagine trying to copy-paste anything 40 trillion times without making a single typo. Could you do it?
No way. It's literally impossible.
And every one of those little typos in the DNA code, well, that's a mutation. And these mutations are constantly creating tiny, microscopic cancers. But these are not the disease we're afraid of. They're just harmless little errors that are never going to cause a problem on their own because our bodies are built to handle them. So how does it do that?
Well, this is how. Dr. Li has this brilliant analogy. He says, our immune system is like cops on a beat. These immune cells are constantly patrolling your entire body, and when they spot one of these microscopic cancers that isn't supposed to be there, they just take it out, clear it away. It's this elegant, powerful, built-in defense system we all have.
And that brings us to the most important question of all. If our bodies are so good at this, if we're making and destroying these tiny cancers all the time, what's the actual problem? Why do people get sick? Well, it turns out the problem isn't the cancer cells themselves. The problem is what happens when our defenses get worn down.
This is really the whole ballgame. If we have these amazing cops on the beat patrolling 24/7, how does anything ever get past them? The disease we call cancer isn't about the mistakes being made, it's about our body's defenses getting overwhelmed.
And you know, our modern world throws a lot of challenges at our defenses. Things like a messed up gut or chronic inflammation can really weaken that internal police force. And then there are the environmental toxins we're all exposed to, even stuff you'd never think about, like the tiny bits of plastic that come off car tires that we're breathing in every day. When all that stuff piles up, our defenses can get compromised, and that's when those tiny cancers get a chance to grow.
But here's where the story gets really, really hopeful. There's a whole new field of medicine that isn't focused on poisoning the cancer. It's focused on rebooting our own internal army, and this is the immunotherapy revolution.
The whole idea is just so smart. Instead of hitting the body with chemo, immunotherapy gives a jolt to your immune system, your body's own operating system. It basically wakes it up and points it in the right direction, telling it, hey, go do the job you were designed to do. Get rid of that threat.
I love this quote from Dr. Li because it just captures the power of this idea perfectly. For some patients, the results are, they're nothing short of a miracle. The body's own defenses just switch on and wipe the slate clean.
And the results are just wow. Dr. Li has seen things that were once considered impossible. We're talking about patients with stage 4 cancer, what used to be called game over, and they wind the clock all the way back to stage 0. And a decade later, they're still completely cancer-free. This isn't just a treatment anymore. For some people, it's a cure.
And if you think that's amazing, just wait. The next step in this revolution sounds like something straight out of science fiction. Can you imagine getting a vaccine that's created just for you, designed to fight your specific cancer? So check this out. Here's how it works. Scientists take a little piece of your tumor and some of your normal blood. They sequence the entire genome for both of them, which is a huge amount of data. Then they use AI to scan through all of it and find the exact mutations that are only in the cancer cells. From there, they can literally print a protein based on those unique mutations, inject it back into you, and bam, you've just trained your immune system to hunt down and kill your very specific cancer. It's the ultimate personalized medicine.
Dr. Lee says the process of picking out those mutations is like watching that futuristic screen from the movie Minority Report, where they're just swiping through data in the air. Scientists can basically just pull out the 20 or 30 most important mutations, stitch them together, and create a targeted weapon. It is just unbelievably cool.
Okay, so all this high-tech science is incredible, but what's really empowering is that you don't have to wait for some futuristic vaccine to start helping your body's defenses. You can actually start right in your own kitchen.
And this is so important. For people going through immunotherapy, what they do at home, what they eat between their doctor's appointments, isn't just a nice little bonus. It can literally be a life or death factor in whether or not the treatment actually works.
Okay, take this for example. We now know that a specific kind of gut bacteria called Akkermansia is linked to having a much better response to immunotherapy. And guess what? You can help grow more of this good bacteria by eating foods like pomegranates and cranberries. Food is never a replacement for medicine, but it can be an incredibly powerful ally. So in the end, we get to flip that first question completely on its head. When you realize that your 40 trillion cells are making mistakes all day, every day, the real mystery isn't, why do we get cancer? The truly mind-blowing question is, why don't we get it more often? And the answer is right there, inside you, in those incredible defense systems that are working for you right this second.